The second ever Europa Conference League final is here, and between two teams who have gone a long time without any silverware. West Ham United trying to go for their first European trophy since winning the Toto Cup in 1999, and Fiorentina, who haven't won a European trophy since the 60s. So which team will lift silverware in Prague? Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let's get into the predictions and preview of the final. Let's talk about the road for both teams heading into the final. Fiorentina, of course, went through all the way into the playoff round where they beat Twente over the two legs. They were in a group with Başakşehir, Hearts, and RFS. They actually started off terribly, only picking up 1 point in the first two games, getting destroyed by Başakşehir 3-0 away and drawing at home to RFS. But then they picked up 4 straight wins and finished the group in second place behind Başakşehir. They went into the knockout playoff round of the Conference League where they destroyed Braga 7-2 on aggregate, and I think this is where their turning point for Fiorentina season began. They continued their good play into the round of 16, destroying Sivasspor. Then the quarterfinals, the first leg they destroyed Lech Poznan 4-1 away. But that second leg, Lech Poznan equalized on the tie 4-4, but 2 late goals from Sottil and Castrovoli, and Fiorentina advanced to the semi-finals, but they got a scare. And in the semi-finals, they went up against Basel. The story of European football this season, the underdogs, and they lost the first leg 2-1 at home thanks to Amoduni's late goal, so it was all to play for in Switzerland. And after Nicolas Gonzalez equalized in the first half, Amodini then gave the lead to Basel once again in the tie, but Nicolas Gonzalez came up clutch and scored in the 72nd minute to send the game into extra time. And in the 130th minute of play, Barak sent Fiorentina to Prague. West Ham also went through the playoff round of the Conference League, beating Viborg 6-1 on aggregate, and they were in a group with Anderlecht, Silkeborg, and FCSB. They won all 6 games, scored 13 goals, only conceded 4, and it was an absolute breeze for West Ham in the group stage. And they continued it into the knockout playoff round. AEK Larnaca was next up. They beat them 6-0 on aggregate. The quarterfinals got a little bit edgy. They only got a 1-1 draw away to Ghent, but they beat them 4-1, and including a brilliant solo goal by Declan Rice. The semifinals was a difficult test though. They were playing a very good Asia Alkmaar, and they even went 1-0 down in the first half, but 2 goals in the second half. Ben Rama from the penalty spot and Michael Antonio in the 76th minute to give them an edge heading to Holland. And away, West Ham put up a great defensive performance. Yes, at times they gave up some chances, but other than that, they were the better team in my opinion, even though they didn't have much of possession. And then Fornals sent West Ham to their first European final in a very long time, and they're off to Prague. So now let's talk about the game. Well, this should be a very intriguing matchup. Both teams have had terrible starts to the season. You know, Fiorentina, I didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't find any consistent goal scorer. And West Ham, they were all over the place. I think Moyes was trying to mold them into a new side, new tactics. Didn't work out, so they went back to the old tactics that have been very useful to West Ham in the last couple of seasons. And then recently, look at the performances of Lucas Paqueta. I mean, this guy is balling out, and when Lucas Paqueta is balling out, that's trouble for Fiorentina. But Fiorentina, they got some ballers. Nicolas Gonzalez down the left side, been brilliant last couple months for Fiorentina. Obviously, Arthur Cabral has finally solidified that striker position because Jovic can't do a job. And we know the likes of Amrabat, Dodo. Keep it on the right back, Dodo. The guy who was at Shakhtar Donetsk, he's a very good player for Fiorentina. And West Ham, look, West Ham got players. Declan Rice in what is probably his last game for West Ham United, and he wants to go out with the trophy. He has given everything to West Ham United. You don't think he's going to give his all one last time to bring a trophy to West Ham United? And we see Antonio play well, Bowen, Benrahma, Aguerd, who I really rate as a center back, Souček, who's going to be playing at home. This is a very good matchup, I think, for West Ham, because Fiorentina are going to dominate the ball. That's how Vincenzo Italiano likes his team to play. They want to press high. They want to get the fullbacks involved in the attack like Dodo, like I've talked about earlier. So this is a perfect matchup, I think, for Moyes. All West Ham have to do is what they have done recently in the last couple of months. Sit back, hit them on the counter-attack. And a prime example of these tactics is Michael Antonio, because he's such a unselfish player. Works super hard, gets others involved, and he allows them to build up for the attack for West Ham. Then you get the likes of Lucas Paqueta on the ball, Benrahma, Bowen, Declan Rice. Antonio is such a key part to how West Ham want to play. And I think for Fiorentina, they really got to do well, because the one thing Fiorentina do is they give up a lot of chances and they don't really keep a lot of clean sheets. So this is going to be an issue, and I could see this actually being a very high-scoring game compared to what we saw last week in Budapest, which was, yeah, that was a dogfight. I think this is going to be a better footballing matchup because Yes, you could say West Ham, negative approach to the game, defensive. It's what they do, and it's been successful, so might as well keep going with it. I think for Fiorentina, Cabral just has to be clinical. Nicolas Gonzalez has to come up in the clutch, and they can win this. This is going to be, I think this is really a 50-50 game. Yes, both teams in the league, they haven't been the greatest, inconsistent, but I think in the last couple of months, both teams have built up the confidence, and Fiorentina just lost the Coppa Italia final. They cannot go 2 finals and lose 2 games. That cannot happen. And West Ham, after the terrible season they've had, they were so close to the final last season in the Europa League. This time around, they want to win this game. So my prediction for the game. This is going to be a tough one. I don't think this is as tough as the Europa League because it was just heritage versus heritage. This one is a bit more, which style of play is going to work? Is it going to be the attacking football for Fiorentina where the fullbacks are involved? Or is it going to be Moyes and West Ham who are a bit more pragmatic but do it so well? It's tough. It's a very tough choice, but I think West Ham have got this. I think they have more clinical players. Yes, Nicolas Gonzalez is good and Cabral is good. I think the likes of Antonio, Benrahma, Paqueta, Bowen, I think there's more attacking options, and especially on the counter-attack. We've seen Fiorentina, they just have not defended well enough this season. They haven't, and that is going to be a big issue going up against this West Ham side. So my prediction for the game is I'm going 2-1 West Ham United, first European trophy since 1999. So there's the preview and prediction of this year's final in the Conference League. Should be a great matchup, and of course, we'll be doing a watch-along. Fiorentina versus West Ham. Cannot wait. Wednesday night, join me here on the Michael Talks Football channel for the watch along. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and get your predictions in the comments down below. Have a beautiful day, stay safe in this crazy world, and until next time, adios.